got the Biden administration trying to get us into World War III. We've got crushing inflation. We've got open borders. But last night on the Oscars, something happened that has everybody talking, and that is when Will Smith went up and slapped Chris Rock. And in the center ring, we do have Congressman Andy Biggs. You ended up posting a meme with an image of Chris Rock as the average American's wallet and Will Smith as the Biden gas prices. And it's getting some action, Congressman. I mean, we sure are getting the hell slapped out of us by Biden inflation right now. And I think that you took that creative meme to show exactly what's happening to the American people.
Yeah, really. I mean, the goofy thing at the Oscars just gave us an opportunity to say this is kind of how all of us as Americans feel with the Biden administration's crummy policies. Everything from, spending so much money that you devalue the currency, to the energy prices that are driving up the cost of everything, to this notion that this great agricultural country, and Joe Biden says, guess what, folks? Yeah, we're going to have a food shortage here. Because it's all because of policies. It's the same thing on the border. It's policies. It's not shortage of personnel. It's the policies, and I hope Americans begin to understand that the policies enacted by leaders have an incredible effect on your everyday life.
You were just down on the border with Representative Matt Gaetz and Sheriff Lamb. How bad is it when even Mark Kelly is saying, finally, we have a problem on the border?
Well, we welcome him to the party no matter how late. But I mean, the reality is it's horrible. The morale of the CBP is bad. Why? Because this administration basically says you got to let these people come through, just process them and release them into the country. And in that particular instance, you had Russians coming across now. So now you have Russians coming across. We're ostensibly in a war type footing with them. With Russians, and my question is, we're trying to get to the bottom of this. What happens to the Russians who are coming across? It's horrible, James T. I can't begin to tell you, and it's going to get worse. It will get worse.
Congressman, I want to ask you something here, because when Joe Biden was over in Poland, he actually compared what was happening on the Ukraine to our own southern border.
The fact that you have so many Ukrainians seeking refuge in this country of Poland. We understand that because we have in our southern border thousands of people a day, literally, not figuratively, trying to get into the United States.
Congressman, was that the first time you heard President Biden even mention the southern border?
Yeah, and he mentioned it kind of amorphously too. I couldn't tell if he was talking about it's a bad thing that 10,000 people a day are coming across the border, or it's a good thing. And this administration is basically derelict on the border, on virtually everything that we need to be doing in America first. He has an America last policy, and that came through with that comment, I thought.
We have Congressman Andy Biggs in the center ring of the conservative circus. On Sunday, you tweeted, Biden's relentless, reckless statements are not clear. They are muddy and at times incoherent, and that makes him dangerous. Is this president going to start World War III?
Heaven help us, I hope not. I mean, when you have the French president, Emmanuel Macron, saying, hey, look, Biden, you need to shut your yapper because you're undermining the chance to get peace and get Russia to withdraw. First, you got to have a ceasefire, and then you have to get Russia to withdraw. And your statements, Biden, are dangerous. That tells you something. I mean, I rarely agree with French President Macron, but here he's exactly right. And I just cannot believe that Biden continues to go off script. Who lets him out in public anyway? I just don't know.
This is what I find very, very curious. And when he goes off script, I mean, the terrible things are said that they have to walk back. But you're in Washington, D.C. You saw how this whole thing happened with the transition and all this kind of stuff. Is this what the deep state really wants? Are the bureaucrats that run Washington, D.C., is this what they want, what we got in Biden, or are they now starting to get nervous that he is saying and doing things that are, as you just said, America last and very dangerous?
I personally believe that he's doing what the establishment elite, the uniparty, the swamp, the deep state, whatever you want to call it. I think he's carrying out their objectives. I really do. And I'll tell you why. If you're incompetent, and you would still see that your policies aren't working, and you'd say, okay, we have to fix it. And you would make adjustments. They make no adjustments for any of their policies. They just put bad policies in place and let the bad consequences to this country happen. I believe that makes it obvious that it's intentional and willful on the part of this administration.
And that's what has a lot of people very, very concerned, because if this is the plan and this is what they're trying to execute, we don't have, well, I guess the thing that we have that we can hope for, work for, is November of this year, to where we could take some of the power out of the Democrats' hand in the House and possibly in the Senate. But we still got, what, almost 3 years to deal with this nonsense.
Yeah, and that's so we need an America First plan. I've written an America First plan. I hope we can get it out there and get it going. But here's the deal. I think we're going to take the Republicans are going to take the House back, probably the Senate. We can peel back some of the stuff he's done, but we also have to prevent him from making it any worse. And we have to have a very positive plan going forward to do this. And it's possible to slow him down and stop him, but we need to be on it like right away.
And do you get the sense that that's going to happen? What am I hearing? That Kevin McCarthy is going to be the new Speaker of the House? I was hoping that wouldn't be true, but it sounds like it's a foregone conclusion. And what do we have? Mitch McConnell would be back at the helm in the Senate. Is this the leadership that's going to be serious about pushing back against Biden?
I don't know that they're going to be the leaders yet. I think some people think it's a foregone conclusion. I'm waiting to see, but I do think that there has to be action, and otherwise you waste a chance. It's not just wasting a chance. We have to stop what's happening here. We have to stop the trajectory of what Biden and company are doing. And if we have leaders that aren't willing to step into the breach and make the tough decisions, who want to continue to go along to get along to please these Washington powerful moneyed interests, then I see a bleak future for the country. But I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful right now that we can turn this thing around, and we just need leaders that are going to help us here in D.C. as well as around the country. Congressman
Andy Biggs, I want to thank you very much for weighing in on what's happening around the world. And I hope, I tell you what, I hope Congressman Biggs is right about the leadership. Something has to change.